Good Tuesday morning, everybody. It is the 21st of July. I have my pole, and I'm going to go do a little fishing. Well, good morning. We've come up with a new problem today to deal with. The pump has all but quit working because the pickup screen at the end of the intake pipe has plugged. So we're going to have to take that apart today and sort that out, or we're going to burn up the pump. Now we're back here into the rose bush to this riser again that's hidden in here. This bush all needs to get trimmed back, something awful. Anyway, we're going to close the gate, running the water to the pond and force all the water to run out towards the front lawn and the ditch. Got to do that to let that pond drain down so I can pull all the muck out of the bottom of it. Yeah, I can't afford to have that pump plugged up if we don't need to. Now, I just noticed something else. Look at here. Somebody has been whacking away at that deal right there. What the heck do you suppose has caused that? Yeah, all sorts of interesting things going on out here at the farm. One thing you'll notice me do every once in a while is let the pond run down real low. As you can see, we're almost to the elbow, right above the foot valve there, where the check valve keeps water from flowing out of the pipe back down into the pump. Anyway, I do that for several reasons. One is because mosquitoes will lay eggs right at the water's edge, and if the water level goes up and down, then those eggs have a chance to dry out. And another reason is that moss floats and it gets hung up on the ditch banks there or on the sides. You can see it all up and down through there. Anyway, it will dry out and that'll be the end of it. And it looks like we have quite a little bit growing down in that water. You can see green spots down in there, along with a bunch of little water skippers moving around, and I think there's still one of them Idaho salamanders or two in there somewhere. Well, good morning. Kind of gives you a perspective of how big of a blob of moss we're dealing with here. You can see that one over there closer to the pump intake is the one that's floating, but yeah, all of this has got to come out of here because I can't have that pump plugging up. So I'm going to do a little work here and see if I can't get this up out of here. I can pretty well guarantee that if I fall down in here, you all are going to be laughing. But honestly, I wouldn't blame you. get this one out of the way and work around and get down there. If I try walking through there, I'm going to have boots full of water. This is going to be fun, walking up out of here while I'm pulling this. Yeah. This is a view of some of that moss that I pulled up out of the pond. It's like a big sheet of fabric, really. You can see here, very fibrous type stuff. Yeah, it's almost like corn husks. But yeah, it makes them big long sheets, and yeah, they kind of create all sorts of problems. Well, the water level in the pond has lowered enough. I was able to get into that upper end there and pull out a bunch of the moss. There's still some over on that far bank. But yeah, right down there, right around the base of that stinking pump, yeah, that stuff wadded up on the intake again. So that's what the problem is. That's why we haven't got any water pressure. Okay, well, first thing is I've got all the valves shut in the off position. That's too big. Go up one notch. We'll see if we can't break this union loose here with all the valves in the off position. Oh, shoot, that's going to unscrew. Nice. Okay, now, plan B now. Put that union on there so I could take this thing apart, but yeah, I didn't realize both ends of that deal were gonna want to spin loose. Yeah, I'm not working in the world's best angle here at this. There. That was cocked and it was in a bind. Okay, and we'll pull that up and see what we got on the end. Big old long stringy mess. Well, it's no wonder that pump had decided it wasn't going to be working so very well. That stuff is actually up inside that check valve. Yeah, sweet. If it ain't one damn thing, it's something else. I guess the canal company has decided not to put the chemical in the canal this year to prevent moss from happening and growing. because we got a ton of it, more than just what I'm pulling out here. So yeah, I wonder if that pump was working at all. I got up this morning and there's just a trickle out of the sprinklers that I'd set yesterday. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is take this over to the hydrant and wash it off. Yeah, we'll see what this spray nozzle can do here on the end of that. If we can get that cleaned up. Yeah, there's a lot of crud stuck on there. Up here doesn't much matter. That's just dirt and mud and whatever. Some algae stuck to it, yeah. But the big issue is down there on that end. That has got to get cleaned off. So I'll continue cleaning that for a bit, and yeah, we'll put it back in, see what happens. That is the end of the foot valve that keeps the water from flowing back out of the pump into the pond when the pump's off. And I managed to get the screen out, and there was a big old ball of green moss in there. And what's left of that moss is stuck in that valve right there. So I'm gonna have to figure out some way to pull all that out of there. Yummy. Okay, we will just reverse the earlier process of what we had done and hopefully get that back on the end of its little bucket down there, which may be easier said than done. And we'll get this union hooked on here, or at least get it started enough to hold it, so I can fish around, make sure we got this thing on the bucket. That feels solid, like that's the bucket. Okay, we'll tighten this up. Oh, I know, gotta go the right way around with the wrench. I got a couple friends that are anal about that to an extent. Yep. This sucker's so big I can't hardly even work it. I'm a big guy, but my hands are little. There. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, got the union back together again. I'm going to open up this valve. There's water up above it here in this plumbing. And I already pre-charged that pipe that runs out into the pond with water. And the water should be about water level there, where the water meets that pipe. And whatever's flowing back in there should prime the pump. So it's still running. I can hear it. Anyway, we'll come up here and we'll flip it on and see what happens. Yeah, that sounds about like it did this morning when it wasn't working right. Yeah, we're gonna have to prime the pump. Most folks, to prime one of those pumps, unscrew the little plug in the top of the pump and fill the thing full of water, and they have to keep doing that until the pump is full and all the air's out of it. You can't have any air pockets in there. They just won't work. Well, they just won't work that way, period. Well, I have another way of doing it. Yes, I do. The evil grandpa, he has his methods. Yeah. What I have is a coupling that has female hose threads on both ends. I don't need this valve in here. I could put it right between this end of the hose and this one, but I got the valve on there already. So what I do is I screw all this together like so, good and tight, and turn on the water. This flows backwards into this hose here, which is coming out of the pump to run a sprinkler. So I'm forcing water back into the pump. So yeah, we'll run down there right quick and turn the pump on and get it primed. Now there is a problem with flowing the water backwards into the pump from the well, the domestic well, through all the garden hoses. And that is that air that's in the system and around the pump has to go somewhere, because all of that piping is now full of air. And we can bleed some out over here with this valve. Yeah, there's water going out now. It had some air behind it, so it had a little bit of pressure to it. That filter is probably about half plugged with moss too, and that one runs, the line's going out that way to the sprinkler, so that's going to have to come apart and get cleaned. But not right this minute. Now, the other valve that can be open, I guess I can show you from this side, goes over to the waterfall. And you can hear the water running through that. And the reason why you can hear the water running through it, that's air bubbles. Yeah, air bubbles running through the system. Okay, we will close that and come around here to the back side and open this valve right here, which runs over to that sprinkler, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, bunch of air coming out. There we go. Now that's all water coming out of the domestic well for the house. Yep, that's where that's coming from. Now that water has come out of that sprinkler there behind me and it's done its deal and it's run for a little bit and no more air's come out of it, that only leaves one other sprinkler that I've got working on the system, and that is clear over there at the walnuts, and we can't see that sprinkler from here. So we are going to let it run for a little bit, turn the pump on, and then go close the hydrant coming over this way with water. Well, now that we know the pump is primed and working, we will shut this off, let the water pressure out of it, and unhook this little adapter off of this garden hose that runs a pump, or runs from the pump over to a sprinkler. Yeah, helps if I tell you right. Anyway, we'll get this wrapped up, buttoned up, get the pump shed wall back on, and then we're going to go do a little something special today. So stay tuned, I got more coming up. Yo, you bet. We ain't done yet today. It's looking like it's going to be a good thing I'm getting some water coming back into the settling pond to head over to the creek and the duck pond. There's a great big old red crayfish down there in the bottom of that, where that water's coming up, and there are salamanders and crayfish over here that are high and dry, that are needing some moisture. Hey, looky right there. Those are those giant Idaho salamanders, and there's a bunch of crawdads rolling around in there with them. So yeah, they're going to be happy that they're going to be getting some water here pretty quick. That one I think is long since gone. Yeah. See all that green moss moving? Yeah, that's the battle I'm having. So, yep, we're going to have to do something down here at the other end to keep this stuff from getting in there. There comes that pretty dragonfly again. Can you see him? Look at that thing. Yeah, sitting there balancing away. Beautiful, kind of a grayish blue. Well, yeah, it's gray with a blue tint. Anyway, there's a couple of them floating around here, different sizes. That's the biggest. Anyway, yeah, back to that. We got plenty of water pressure once again coming out of the pump. We're watering mostly the pond right there, yes, but we also are getting water to that dry spot up there, so that's all right. And it shoots across over here a little bit, so nothing wrong with that. Anyway, ooh, there's an orange dragonfly down here. Let's see if we can get a picture of him. Yeah, a little, oh, there he flew. Name? Yeah. I don't know that you can see exactly how far that sprinkler is running there, but that's got to be a good 30-35 feet of water, because the sprinkler is clear over there north of the barn, right there in the shot. It's sitting right there. Actually, it's, let's see, 1, 2, yeah, right there. And it is shooting water clear out over here. So, yeah, that's a good, yeah, pardon the finger thing. There's a happy little finger going around right there. Anyway, yeah, that thing's shooting quite a little bit of water. So we got some good pressure, so I really seriously doubt there was any issues to the pump being damaged. So we're gonna get this place watered up and wet yet, and as soon as that pipe arrives, we'll start irrigating with the gated pipe. Well, that looks like we've got a pretty good shot of water coming out of that sprinkler now, so the pump must be working all right. I don't think the pump was actually hurt, because there was water coming out of that sprinkler and the other one down on the end of the barn. So I don't think it was totally plugged, but it was almost there. If I'd have let it run for another half hour or something, we'd have probably really had some serious issues. Well, I think that'll about wrap it up for today. It's getting warm and hot and sunny out. The pond is full of water, and we're gonna get more land irrigated around here. Still waiting on the gated pipe fittings and the new pipe to go underneath the driveway. That should be here this week, as I thought. And yeah, once we get that in, we'll put that in. There'll be another video about that and getting all the irrigation pipe lined up on top of that. So for now, don't forget, right down there is that little button that says subscribe. If you would, please. Means a lot. Go ahead, click on that. Right next to it's a little bell. Click on that. Click on the word all after you click the bell. And that way you get notified every time there's another one of these videos up. And as always, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you like, and whatever you want to say in the comments. Just keep it clean, because there are minors that watch these videos. So anyway, that said, pond's full of water, the irrigation pump's humming, and the sprinklers are chirping. So you all have a good one now.